I don't want to breathe in any historical dust.
We've become historical ourselves.
No, I didn't do that.
Fort Jefferson, pretty fucking cool. Day 11, Park 3, Dry Tortugas National Park.
Come on now, come on, won't you come with me? Time to let it go and be free. Won't you come and breathe the open skies? Come now, come listen to the melody. Slow it down, put yourself at ease. Time to live it live.
I booked a ferry with Yankee Freedom out of Key West. On the ferry, you get complimentary bagel, cream cheese, coffee's open. I got an orange juice, I got an apple. I think they also gave you yogurt. They're gonna give me a lunch. It's gonna be like a Jersey Mike sandwich. It's roughly 70 miles, or give or take, 70, 80 miles off Key West. Had a capacity of like 220 some people. I think they said they took between 170 and 175 as per the NPS allowance. It's still a mask mandate, so when in cabins had to wear a mask and everything. I think I want to go up, and then I'm going to go around. And this area is fucking closed. I just walked myself into a dead end. That's where they do a little bit of the government housing, I believe, for employees and workers. So, I guess this was a central station, and then up in these windows from the other section of the wall, you could see that they turned that into individual housing. I think that lighthouse is the highest point. I'll get over there eventually. And lighthouse, that's Loggerhead Key. A little story about Loggerhead Key. I thought I was gonna kayak there. That's a 3-mile open ocean kayak. 1, you need a permit. 2, you need an FMV radio or some kind of fucking radio. So I bought the kayak, and when I opened it from Amazon, I did not feel like it was a good decision. I did not feel secure. You can also camp here at night, but looking at it online, people have to schedule basically your campground here like a year in advance. And that's what I've been hearing from a lot of people is like they tried, but you gotta plan this thing out super early. I opted to not snorkel or do anything here. I'm just going to spend my time walking around, taking pictures, enjoying it like that. I don't really need to go above and beyond. If I wanted to do the ultimate adventure here, I think it really is bring your own fucking kayak, pay for it, get the permit, and if you trust your abilities, open water kayak that motherfucker to Loggerhead Key for 3 miles, and then try coming back. Yeah, area closed. Otherwise, I mean, people would be probably flocking to this thing. Yeah, people coming in by seaplane. People got their own fucking sailboats and shit out here. And you got our Dry Tortugas National Park ferry, the Yankee Freedom. There's a kayak. They allow up to 24 permits a day to go to Loggerhead Key. There's no way they fill that, and I kind of envy any brave soul that takes on that fucking adventure. It sounds super fucking cool, but I think it'd scare the ever-living shit out of me. So you got all these picnic tables. I don't think I've spotted their little campsites yet. All right, maybe they're on that side. There's a tent over there. Let's go up here. I actually considered sitting down, listening to the tour, the information, and the historical aspect of it. But then I thought time's a little limited. I could follow the group, but I'd just be silently filming. So I'd rather go off and do my own adventure and explore for myself. So here we are. Thank you so much. It's emergency gas available on the island. Bathrooms. No lifeguard on duty. This must be the section that the area's closed. Looks like housing. Got fans. See a little. I mean, it looks pretty fucking comfortable to be staying at Fort Jefferson. There's got to be a few hundred fish right here. Probably 1,000. Fuck. The more I walk, there's got to be like 10,000 fucking fish here. Loggerhead Key. You might barely be able to see the lighthouse. I mean, from here, this shit's calm. Out there, that's 3 miles. I can see some whitecaps out there. Looking at Loggerhead Key from here, the closest point without me actually getting in the water. Outside the comfort zone, something I think I could do. A lot of this shit plays interestingly if I'm doing it solo. If I was with somebody else, I probably wouldn't think twice. I think I'd be able to do it, but because I'm by myself, it makes it a little more on edge. Campsites, people tent camping. So the Yankee Freedom Ferry has capacity of, let's say, 220-ish. I think they only carry between 160 to 175, somewhere in that range. They provide little snacks, a bagel, cream cheese per person for early breakfast. They provide free coffee. They provided free little tiny orange juices for like a second grader. 1 free apple, and I think probably 1 yogurt as well. I'm assuming they have enough to accommodate everyone if I say everybody wanted one. And then they gave everybody free Jersey Mikes. And by the size of the sandwich, I want to say it was probably like 75% of a full Jersey Mike sandwich. Full-blown revenue, $190 per person at least 160 people per day equals $30,000 revenue a day. I don't know expenses of captain and crew. I don't know expenses of the food. I don't know expenses of the fuel. I don't know what goes to the parks. People fucking love this place. I'm sure they constantly do a solid 150 people. Now, I'm not sure what their seasonal is, because I believe this is their high season in winter, when people want to come down here. I'm not sure how they do this during the summer season, during hurricane season. I can see why not many people hang out on the beach over here. The amount of birds flying over there is insane, uncountable. I think the only way you could even kayak Loggerhead Key, there's no way you would have enough time allotted in the day if you did just a day visit for like the 3 or 4 hours that you actually get here from taking the ferry. You'd have to overnight camp. It's going to cost you to bring a kayak. And yeah, like you're just out there on your own. Let's look at it from this side. directly ahead, a little fucking lighthouse. So I watched some guy actually kayak it on YouTube. He seemed successful. He said, I think he used a GoPro 2 to film it. Just the return trip, I believe just the return trip. He did it. He wrote in the details of the video that it was actually a lot sketchier of him actually doing it than the video showed. He said he was hitting like these 3-foot waves and you could just tell his nose was up and down and dipping. And he said it didn't reflect exactly what he was going through in the moment. And so I saw that and that enthused me. I was like, this guy did it, I could probably fucking do this. On the other side of it, somewhere in there I continued to read about other people doing it, and somebody, I don't know if it was within the last year or recently, after I looked into it, somebody had a radio in help. Like they couldn't do it and they had to get so I think somebody from the park service to get out there and help them out. You're basically putting yourself on the line if you're doing it, and you know what you're getting yourself into. So that's where the experienced people on waters and kayaks and open ocean and rivers and any sense of just kayaking, water, boats, they say know your limitations, but how are you ever going to know your limitations if you don't try to push them even just a little bit? So that's where I stand on that. But like, I'm really enjoying these window shots. These windows, 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 and windows. There's a wheelchair with nobody in it. What do I do? This is me in the wheelchair. I was talking to some lady over by that beach. She said that, I don't know, somebody have to check this number, 50,000 birds over there nesting. I don't know if that's seasonally, I don't know if that's within a year, I don't know if that's right now, but like 50,000 fucking birds. I find it interesting to be a national park photographer, a landscape photographer, whatever you want to label yourself, photographer. I don't care if you use a phone, I don't care if you use a DSLR, I don't care if you use a digital camera, I don't care what you use. It's probably hard to shoot this place in a new and interesting way because the ferry gets here probably the same time every day throughout the week. Unless the weather changes, everybody's dealing with the same hours of light. So when you come here, there's no dramatic lighting unless you're camping or you're flying in or you're staying late, you get some storm weather, something along those lines. Everybody's just got blasting pure sunlight. It's pretty cool. Fort Jefferson. Thumbs up.
Is it a broken wing? Broken foot. Oh. That close.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Did they get him?
He's right over here. Yeah, he flew off a little bit. Yeah, that's probably gonna take them a little bit longer to get him. I walked into the park rangers because I saw them over there and wanted to ask them a question about how many people attempt to kayak to Loggerhead Key. One older ranger told me he was stationed here for 8 years. The woman said 2 years. They don't track that information, but the guy said roughly 4 people a week attempt to, I say attempt, they probably do it, I imagine, but we'll go with attempt. They attempt to kayak to Loggerhead Key and back. There is an allotted 25 people visiting per day to Loggerhead Key. And what we actually walked into was a little more interesting. They were trying to catch that pelican because it had a broken foot. Its foot was completely backwards. I'm not sure how long they've been doing that. I got that the pelican was exhausted. Eventually she tried to toss a towel on it. he gave a little flight and flew into the water.
Come on now, come on, won't you come with me? Time to let it go and be free. Won't you come and breathe the open skies? Come now, come listen to the melody. Slow it down, put yourself at ease. Time to live it light. Get away from the do's and don'ts.